Hi everyone, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I am sorry I haven't been putting out content as often as I normally do. I was traveling the past 2 weeks, but I'm so excited for this week's video. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top summer fragrances, and all of these are as powerful as they are fresh, with the exception of one that I just thought was so beautiful. I kind of let it slide on longevity terms, but every other fragrance on this list, you should get minimum 6 hours of wear. Honestly, minimum 8 hours of wear, up to 12 hours of wear. You're getting close to beast mode. Some of these are beast mode for summer fragrances, and that's exactly what I wanted to bring you guys, because I think that's always the struggle with high heat or summer fragrances, is getting them to last while still having, a fresh character. For those of you who are new here, my name is Ashley. I live and work in Paris as an apprentice perfumer for a major fragrance house, and I also have my master's in perfumery. So if you're interested in fragrance videos and fragrance reviews from an informed perspective, consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so number 5 on this list is Mandarino by Laboratorio Olfativo, and this to me, okay, it's the only fragrance on this list that's not beast mode. This fragrance, I'm going to be honest with you guys, maybe lasts 2 hours, but it's so delicious. It's such a juicy mandarin. It's done by Jean-Claude Elena, who is a master perfumer, and if you're familiar with his work, it's very much like watercolors. He does do some fragrances that have good longevity, but a lot of his beautiful creations don't have the longevity. They just surprise you with their photorealism, and to me this is such a true mandarin scent. If you love mandarins, and I do, and you want that smell to emanate from you, just this juicy, irresistible smell, you absolutely have to smell this fragrance. They did 3 of these kind of citrusy fragrances with Jean-Claude Elena that are also very much worth checking out, but the Mandarino was my personal favorite. The next fragrance on my list is the new Terre de Hermes flanker, the Eau Givree, and I was pleasantly surprised by this. For those of you who watch my channel, you guys know that I've only recently started to re-like Terre de Hermes, that for a long time I was a bit inundated with the smell and kind of found it everywhere, but slowly it's been creeping back into my loves because it is a classic fragrance. I love the twist Christine Nagel did with the Eau Givree. A lot of people have been on other reviews and stuff, Fragrantica, talking about this like very cold citrus note, and it's definitely there, but in terms of soliflors, the top of this fragrance to me is straight juniper. If you're familiar with juniper oil, or maybe if you're not, this is a great fragrance to help you understand what juniper is in a fragrance, because that top is very simple. It's citrus, mostly this cold lemon, a touch of grapefruit, and then for me, even more powerful and prominent in this fragrance is the juniper. For those of you who haven't smelled juniper, and I know I hadn't before having fragrance training, it is this like fresh terpenic smell, a bit piney, and also has a slight touch of mango to it. So it's fresh and it's piney, and then again paired with the citruses, it's just this cold blast of freshness that is so perfect for summer. And that part lasts, a good 10-15 minutes. It doesn't go away, but that's what you're getting at the initial space. And then the other notes start to come in with this fragrance, and it's that classic Terre de Hermes feeling. It's woody and then musky at the base, and it's such a great fragrance. I was really impressed and surprised by this flanker, and I really enjoyed it and was excited to share it with you guys, because I think it just came out this year. So on to my top 3, and these are all beast mode, because I think that's what we want in summer, right? We want a fragrance that's going to beat the heat and still smell super fresh. I've definitely talked about this fragrance on my channel before. It does seem like there has been some issues in getting it, but I have seen some people in the States being able to get it, and I hope you guys can too, and that is Kenzo Pour Homme Eau de Toilette Intense. A bit of a mouthful, but I'll have it written here below for you all. This fragrance is an aquatic fig with sandalwood. So that aquatic note is super fresh on top. The fig is really nice, fruity, creamy, very sexy. And again, the sandalwood, always a nice cool wood for you there. Also very creamy, pairs really well with the fig and acts as a nice, you know, base to this fresh, fruity, creamy, woody transition. And this wears well into the next day. 12 plus hours of wear for sure. You're gonna smell this on your clothes the next day while still being such a great, fresh, kind of blue smelling fragrance. I love, love, love this fragrance. I think it's perfect for summer. I find it super sexy on a guy, definitely worth a sniff, and you can find it for under $75, at least out here in Europe. Number 2 on my list was also on my last summer's list. It's the only overlap we have here, but I just find it so amazing for summer, and it's another beast mode, at least on me and my boyfriend. I get such long wear out of this, but I have read on like Fragrantica that other people don't, so definitely test it out on yourself. But I easily get 8 hours of wear out of this fragrance, and it is the AQUA CELESTIA Cologne Forte. This fragrance has notes of grapefruit, notes of mimosa, and it's very fresh. I'm not sure if it's the grapefruit or the mimosa that it's coming from, but I also think there's also certain synthetic materials that are contributing to the freshness here that are harder to pinpoint than that. But it's a citrusy floral for sure. I also find a lot of bergamot in this fragrance and a touch of jasmine, but I find it more fruity than floral. Fruity fresh on a base of florals and musk, but super unisex, veering masculine. It's a fragrance that my boyfriend had my boyfriend and I did a custom together with Francis Kirk de Jean, and we smelled through the whole range, and we loved this fragrance for him, and eventually I stole it. But it is such a great fragrance for men. Another one that I find very attractive, with great longevity and projection, and definitely, again, worth a sniff for summer. The last fragrance on this list has been probably my favorite fragrance of 2022. It did come out in 2021 or maybe even 2020, and I had smelled it prior to this year, but this year I just fell head over heels with it, and it is Sicilian Leather by Memo. I think if you smell one fragrance from this list and you have access to niche, like through a department store or something, this is the one to smell and to get a small sample of, because I'm personally not a blind buyer, and the reason for that is even if you know you like a note, you don't know if you're going to like this interpretation of the note. So like I love vanilla, and I have met many a vanilla fragrance that I don't like, even though it's my all-time favorite note. So this is just an aside, completely separate of this list. This is just the fragrance I think you should sample the most, because I don't know if I believe in safe blind buys unless you're a constant blind buyer and you don't care. And I definitely have people like that in my life personally, that they just watch reviews, they buy, and they get pleasure out of that. Me, I think I'm a bit more like, I have to test. So yes, Sicilian Leather by Memo, you have this delicious bitter orange. It's not a sweet or saccharine orange at all. The bitterness, I think, is what gives this citrus this addictiveness. It's just kind of like a very cool orange, you know, it makes it a bit edgy, and it pairs really well with the leather in this fragrance. Then you also have some bergamot, which just adds more freshness, and to me it's the perfect mix between a fresh citrus and a sexy leather, and it's incredible. I find it super masculine. I actually don't wear it myself. It is currently my favorite fragrance for my significant other. Like if I get to pick what he's wearing that day, I'm picking Sicilian Leather. I find it irresistible, and it works well in the office. It works well at night, whether you're going on a date. So to me, this is the fragrance for summer. You have to check it out. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I would love to hear what you're wearing this summer, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.